Imagine harvesting over 50 GC tomatoes from just one plant. Yeah, and when you check out from your neighbor's field, the fruits are rotting, full of disease and pests. What if I told you there is no special fertilizer or any special seeds to be able to achieve that? But just one crucial step, one very simple step that most farmers tend to skip. So this crucial step is staking, which basically means it's supporting your tomato crop, avoid it touching the ground. And this is what I'm currently doing. These tomato plants that I have here. So I've also not been spared. It's either, if you've grown tomatoes, you know that at times tomatoes can grow out of hand. They grow quite fast, and at times, you're not able to catch up with the staking, which is now, supporting this, showing that the crop is supported, touching the ground, and there are so many benefits for staking, or rather supporting your crop. There are so many benefits that will lead to better yields of your crop, as opposed to if you let the crop grow wild. So this crop that I'm currently staking, this is it's about 2 months since transplant. It's going to about 60 days from transplant. The crop has already started fruiting actually, and I'm just following up on this staking, ensuring that I support. This is a semi-determinate variety. Being a semi-determinate variety, this crop can really grow tall. You can see this crop can really go tall. So if left unchecked, not staked, can really become unmanageable. So you have to ensure that you keep one of the benefits of not staking is to ensure that I keep the crop off the ground. Because now, once the crop touches the ground, and it gets the splashes from the water, the training, or the contact with the soil, you get to high chances of fungal infections, such as blight and as such. So to want to avoid these fungal diseases, which may compromise on the productivity of your crop. So to ensure that you keep the crop off the ground. So this is what I've been talking about. I've also not been able to catch up with the staking of this particular crop. This is something I've tried over the years of growing tomatoes. I always get late into doing this. It's always good you start early enough. I think now going forward, I'll be preparing the stakes, if not before transplanting, just after transplanting. Because if you wait too long, you see the crop grows very fast and you will not be able to catch up with the staking. And that you get some of this. Now see what I'm experiencing now is the leaves that were touching the ground have been affected by fungal infection. So what I'll be doing, I'll just be pruning them off. All the diseased leaves, I'll be pruning them off. Now properly take my crop to ensure that it's no longer touching the ground. So this is a crucial step. If you don't do that, see how well the crop is doing. It's fruiting, very nice large fruits. But not because I did the staking late, this part was touching the ground. And with that, now we got this infection. But nothing to worry about. I'll just prune off all the affected leaves. And then now, hopefully, the crop will go on well. And by the way, speaking of pruning, as much as I'm pruning off, what I'm pruning is just the diseased leaves and branch, whatever has been affected by the diseases, what was touching the ground. So for pruning, what I do, because now I'm growing my my tomatoes on an open field. Yeah, this is now, I don't necessarily prune off the suckers. What I'm pruning off are the affected leaves only. What I do, I let the crop be, because this, like being a semi-determinate variety, it produces a lot of suckers. So what I prefer, instead of pruning off the suckers, I let it go, all the suckers grow. As you can see, the crop is quite bushy. Because here, I planted this. This is a spacing of 60 centimeters from plant to plant. And it was just 1 row per bed. And you can see how bushy the crop is. So the idea is, instead of pruning off the suckers, I'd rather check on top up on the feeding program. No, if it's even if top dressing every other week, so I can allow all the suckers to produce fruit. And with this, I tend to have more production, because in the open field, the crop is open to expose to the elements. So of course, the harvesting period is, cannot, not maximize get as much harvest as you can in the time that the crop will be doing well. Because it's now exposed, could be rainy, hot conditions, all the pests and diseases out there. So we don't want to reduce the production from all, because all those suckers, if you let them, they'll all produce fruit. So the idea here is, now what I do, instead of pruning, I feed the crop properly and ensure everything, it produces as much fruit as possible. That's what you're looking for. So you can see how wild this crop can grow. This is meant to be a pathy, and then, as I said, I've not been up to date with the staking. So see, everything you need now to support this properly, ensure that the leaves are not touching the ground. The other benefit, as I said, is that, see, once I ensure that the crops are well staked, they are getting properly exposed to the sunlight, and exposing these fruits while the crop is fruiting leads to very nice, improves the quality of the fruit. They become larger, sweeter, and even the color is more appealing. You get that dark red color, and once you hit the market, you're able to, your crop is attractive. So for staking, as you said, you need to start early enough. You don't have to wait to get to this point. Yeah, this has gone too far. You need to do it early enough. And the advantage of doing it early enough, one of the reasons could be, to avoid damaging your, injuring your crop, because there is easily, see, like these crops are really growing tall, right? So you start handling them at this stage. If you don't handle them properly, could easily break off the branches. That will lead to losing some of the fruits. You see, the crop has already started producing lots of flowers, lots of fruit, and you want to maximize and ensure you get everything, good production, good output out of this. So you need to start early. The other thing why you need to start early, you see, now to be able to do this supporting, I have to drill, these stakes, whereby I've just put up these stakes, then run a galvanized wire along. That's why now I'm using to tie my crop on. So if you don't do it early enough, because now this crop the way this crop has established, the rooting system has gone all the way. So when you're doing, you're pushing in the stake, you may tend to affect the root, to injure the root, and that may eventually even end up shocking the plant, which may lead to crop either drying off, or affecting its performance altogether. So I said also for me, the next time I think I'll prepare for the staking very early, immediately, either not at either at transplant or before transplant, so to ensure that I don't get to this point where everything looks is going crazy. Because now if it's like this, it becomes difficult to manage this crop in terms of monitoring pests, even if it gets probably even to harvesting. Because no, this is a pathway. Yeah, everything is blocked. So very high chances of damaging these branches, and you can see there clearly there are lots of fruits and also some flowers that will also be fruits. So ensure you do this early enough, and as you tie your crop, you do it gently. Ensure you don't damage the stem. What I'm using to do the stake here, just using locally available, affordable material. I'm just using a typical knitting thread for knitting sweaters. Very cheaper because earlier on I was using the Manila thing that I could recycle, but recycling is not easy. It tends to give more labor intensive. I prefer to use this, even if it's a one time. They're affordable. So I prefer to use this knitting thread. So clearly ensure you tie it gently, you don't damage the stem, and the crop will be good to go. Once I'm done with that, as I've done on the others, is ensure, because now of course all the leaves, these leaves that were touching the ground, have all been infected by fungal infections. I need to just prune them off. This also helps with the aeration. In addition to pruning off all the diseased leaves, that thing that I prune off are the leaves that are below the fruits. They're necessary, leaves that are down there. But I said I don't prune off the suckers, just the leaves, the unwanted leaves, the ones that are infected, and the ones that are below the fruits, close to the ground level. And this even helps with the disease management, because now don't have any leaves closer to the ground. In case even if it's rain, there is no dirt splash to the plant, which now brings about fungal diseases and all that. So now to improve the production of your crop, to increase, to get better yields, improve on the quality of your crop, ensure that you do staking properly, do it early enough, and this is a routine process. As the crop continues to grow, if you start early, and then as the crop continues to grow, you can even do it weekly to ensure that you continue, whatever the new branches that are to be staked are staked in good time, to ensure that you don't go about, nothing touches the ground, and that you'll get better yields, better quality in terms of quantity and quality. And once you get out there in the market, your crop will really sell out. So that's more like it. That's how I go about this taking. I've not also been able to get it right, but I'm hoping then in the next crop I'll be able to do it right. So thank you so much for watching. Till the next one, happy farming.